Okay, we are here with our first daily camp report of preseason football camp here with ETBU head coach Mark Sartain. Coach, just to get going here real quick, you guys obviously came in a couple of days ago, reported, and had a group of about 145 or so thereabouts show up and started your workouts yesterday. Just kind of tell us kind of an overview at this point of what you've seen the first couple of practices.
Well, we did report actually in camp 145, and there's I think 4 additional that are en route dealing with various issues from financial aid to academics to family situations, and so we'll be right at that 150 mark. And it's been a very smooth 2 days. We've been very happy with the way that the schedule has worked to this point. We're in 1 a day. The coaches are actually going through 2 a days because at this point we practice our newcomers separately from our veterans. So we're hosting 2 practices a day, but the kids are just going through 1 per, and it gives us a great chance to get a good look at our newcomers and really see what they're capable of physically, and give them some prime reps where they're not standing behind an upperclassman waiting on an opportunity to try something. So that's all. We've done that for the last 2 years. This 3rd year, and it's really been beneficial to us to be able to evaluate their talent a little quicker, and also be able to get them over that learning curve a little quicker and caught up, so we can begin to move together, molding the team.
We'll get to your newcomer and freshman here in just a minute, but let's talk first about your returning veterans. Obviously, it's going to be obviously your 5th season here, but this is by all accounts your most experienced group of guys, just in terms of returning guys and returning starters. Talk a little bit about how you've been pleased with their ability to come back into camp and kind of hit the ground running here.
Absolutely. Well, it is our first group of seniors that were a part of a full recruiting class. Last year's seniors were our first group of seniors, but we didn't get here until the middle of January to begin recruiting. So they were a little smaller group, not quite as large in numbers. Great group of young men, and they really set a tone for us. But this group of seniors is our first full class. And of course, we're coming off of the first spring that we've actually had a full staff on the road for an entire spring. So this incoming class is clearly the most talented and deep that we've brought into this point. And with the return of 20 seniors and 16 returning starters, it's another reason that we have the separate practices for veterans and freshmen, is to not hold those veteran players back, is to allow them to start where they are and continue to move forward. So we've already accelerated well beyond probably the 2nd or 3rd week of input from last year in the 2nd or 3rd day of practice with those guys. So it's fun. You get to, as a coach, you get to you coach some of the intricacies of the different positions in the game, instead of always having to just hammer the basics. Now, we go back to the basics with them, but then later in the practice we can move forward in our team sessions to do some more elaborate things and more in-depth things.
You've had 3 of your seniors, bringing that up, been named preseason All-America already, and the interesting thing about that is just to kind of show some balance in your depth. You've got 1 on offense, 1 on defense, 1 in your kicking game. How does that give you a good core, those guys plus the other guys you got coming back? Just kind of talk about again just how important it is to have a guy coming back that has been there and done that before.
Well, he that guy instantly has credibility with his teammates, number one, and they'll listen to him. And just so happens all 3 of those guys are considered strong leaders on our football team. Said and Matt Tarver particularly, and then Brett Petticourt has really asserted himself as a leader in the kicking game. And the way we're staffed, we don't have an exclusive coach for kicking. Now we got a special teams coordinator, but we aren't able to spend as much time individually with the kickers as we'd like. And Brett has really come in with he wants to coach, I think. Anyway, he was going to be a trainer, but he's got a coach's mindset, and he's really done a great job with our young kickers, and even our old one. It's on campus for the first time, teaching them the ropes and working them through practice and having them where they need to be on time. So those kind of guys are invaluable. It's like having additional coaches in the huddle, in the locker room, and they take care of a lot of problems that we don't have to.
Spoke about your freshmen, and obviously, again, you're getting the opportunity here to work with those guys individually more with the separate practices. Just overall, there's been a lot of excitement just in a couple of days with the overall class that you've brought in. Talk about that group of guys again for us here, and just what are we looking at in terms of some of it being in the future, and some of it might even be closer than we think.
Well, you can't get too excited at this point. We hadn't had shoulder pads on yet, so anybody can run around out there and look good in their underwear. But if things are relative, this is clearly, without a question, the most deep and talent-laden group of young men we've ever brought in. And it's also the largest physically and numerically that we've ever brought in. And by all accounts at this point, significantly more talented and athletic than what we're accustomed to. We'll see, as we move forward. Tomorrow will be our last day separate, but our first day in shoulder pads. And then the following day we'll be together. And that'll be the day that, some of the skeletons in the closet will come out, and some of the chinks in the armor will be revealed. But we're excited about them as a unit, as a group. They've got a tremendous attitude. Came out very enthusiastic, very vocal, and very emotional, and they respond to coaching. That's exciting to us. They really respond well to coaching and to inspirational moments as well. And so sense a tremendous group of leaders to emerge from that group really in the future.
Obviously tomorrow marks, you got 3 weeks to go before you step on the field up in Delaware against Wesley. Do you feel like, I know it's early in camp, but are you guys right on schedule in terms of the development and guys coming back, being ready to go and hit the ground running? You feel good about being right on schedule and being able to get on that pathway to being ready to go here in 3 weeks?
Well, so far there's been no setbacks. We've not experienced any issues that would cause us to feel behind. We're where everybody is in the second day of practice. We just happen to hopefully be a little ahead in the experience department, with their returners. But it's we'll see in a week or so. We're really not focusing on Wesley right now. One of the quotes that I have liked about a couple of books I've read this summer, sometimes we measure success by how we compare to others, but excellence is measured by how we compare to our capabilities, our potential. And so what we're working on right now is just trying to maximize our own potential and achieve the excellence in what we do. And then we'll start applying that to our opponents as they appear.
Okay, well, the Tigers are going into their first weekend of practice here as they get ready for the fall season. And, Coach, we'll check back with you on Monday and see how the weekend went.
Okay. All right. See you then.